Hi Arsalan, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining the interview of HTBD, How to Do Business in Dubai. I'm very thankful that you took out time in your busy schedule and be a part of it. So to begin, tell us something about yourself, about your industry.
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me. And I'm really excited to be here and to be able to share some insights of my experience in Dubai. I am obviously Arsalan Ahmed. I am part of a global financial technology company called WorldPay from FIS, and I've been with them for almost a year now. But in Dubai, I've been here for about 8 years, so I would consider myself somewhat of a veteran of the Dubai market. For work, what I generally do is, just like I mentioned, I'm working for a company called WorldPay from FIS. It's considered to be the world's largest financial technology company. So obviously that kind of puts me in a situation where I am part of the Fintech or financial technology industry. Now, that industry, puts me in a very interesting situation, as you would probably know that technology has pretty much touched every aspect of our lives, and we basically interact with it every day. And then obviously finance has been the heart of our economy since the beginning of time. And we are at a crossroads where traditional finance has been working in collaboration with technology to basically create some disruptors in the market, WorldPay from FIS being one of them. We basically take technology and the way finance was done in the olden ways and figure out a more optimized and better way of doing this. Proud to be a part of that journey. It's a very exciting time for me. I come from a background primarily in sales, so I've always been a part of the sales and business development teams. Obviously, as I've progressed in my career, that's moved towards more sales strategy and how to penetrate new markets. And for WorldPay, the payments division of FIS, which is relatively new in the region, I am part of the team that is responsible for expansion strategy and getting our roots settled into this region.
I would say this is one of those industries which are growing very fast. I mean, I would really want to know from you your opinion towards the fintech, blockchain, cryptos, all of that which we hear in Dubai. What this market has, in your opinion, to offer to all these different industries when it comes to Dubai as in the region?
You know, it's a fascinating time across the globe. Technologies come into play where it's really starting to make changes in how traditionally business was done. And it makes some big players a little bit nervous, but at the same time it gives us as consumers the ability to be able to make better choices, to be able to choose and pick what's best for us and works better for us and has a more personal touch to us. Dubai in itself is a remarkable place to be within this industry, is because even though it's still a relatively new market, it is not what you would consider an immature market, whether it be it for technology, whether it be it for finance, or be it for fintech as a whole. Whereas some more established economies like parts of Europe or the United States are more mature in terms of how financial technology is adopted, and there's a lot of big players coming in. Disruption in those markets has become a little bit harder to create. I mean, you have a lot of established players, and going in and making changes or even getting the regulation that is often required when you're dealing with financial markets to work in your favor is a little bit harder. Whereas Dubai has been in a situation where it has been extremely open and extremely interested in how disruptors, market changers, market makers are going to come in and be able to impact it. It also puts us in a unique situation where we are not an immature market. We are not like the likes of some countries in Southeast Asia or in Africa, where technology or fintech is still a little bit further down the road to be adopted as quickly as it would in a place like Dubai. The governments over here are extremely supportive of how financial technology business can be done, whether it be with crypto regulation, whether it be with facilitating new companies, much like WorldPay, coming into the region and competing with the local players. They've been supportive of that. They've been looking forward to how things can change for the better, and all of that translates into betterment for consumers and residents of Dubai, and by extension, consumers and residents in the GCC region.
I mean, obviously, when we see that this whole landscape, it has changed over the period of time, not only infrastructure, the kind of infrastructure for the company establishment, for new businesses to form, I think that has changed a lot over the period of time. On the similar lines, what is your opinion about a new business who wants to come and establish here in Dubai, especially in fintech arena, or let's say blockchain arena? What are the some of those steps, if you can give your reflections on how quick it is, how fast it is, or approximately how much time it takes for someone to start a business in these areas, if one wants to begin?
I think there's no straight or one-shot answer to this. Obviously, every company has different requirements, different aspirations, and may have to deal with different sorts of rules, regulation, and compliance. That being said, I think while it is still a very young market, a lot of people just recently, or a lot of disruptive businesses recently, have looked towards Dubai to make sure that, okay, this becomes either their new headquarters or at least the Middle Eastern hub for expanding into different markets within the Middle East. So the potential, the track record, speaks for itself, that a lot of companies, a lot of big disruptors in the market, which have had success globally, have come into Dubai and have started expanding into the region. So definitely, the ease of doing business is there. The market is open to accepting newcomers. The market is very adopting of how new businesses would come in and try to change the traditional ways of how business would be done. But at the same time, because a lot of companies are looking towards moving to Dubai and are looking towards this being a starting point for expansion into the Middle East, if you decide that you want to come into Dubai, the potential is massive, but at the same time, you have to do a bit of homework. When we decided that our expansion team needs to expand our merchant solution, our payments division, which is called WorldPay, into the region, we had to go through extensive amounts of market strategy, figuring out what would be the right moves, what would we require in terms of our regulation and compliance. A lot of it was extremely well handled by the government and the regulatory bodies over here. They're very willing to work with you, but at the same time, you should do your homework in terms of what you want to achieve, what the end goal is. And once you have a clear picture around that, you can take a leap, come and arrive into the UAE market. It's a supportive environment. There's a lot of potential in there to be able to grow. Obviously, direction you're going to head in, success is all but guaranteed for you. That being said, if you just come in with aspirations and optimism, you have to be a little bit wary, because it's still maybe not as competitive as the developed markets in Western Europe and the United States, but it's still getting a little bit competitive.
On those lines, you mentioned one thing which probably I would want your opinion on. We all know Dubai as one of the window to Middle East. It has been playing that particular role for a very long period of time. So as one of those people who would strategize the growth of a company within the region, what is your opinion that a company which is in Dubai, how quickly and how fast can it grow into the other GCC markets, or how easy it is to grow in other GCC markets? Some reflections from there.
So, when we've done our research and what our experience has shown us is that it's definitely a lot easier if you are based out of Dubai to expand into the Middle East region, whereas if you were planning on remotely expanding into the Middle Eastern region and not having a local presence within UAE. That being said, of course, every country, because still there are immature or developing markets, generally the sentiment has been that a lot of them are taking the route which Dubai and UAE have taken in terms of being accepting of new businesses, being accepting of new technologies and disruptors, but everybody is working on their own pace. So if you look at the likes of Qatar, they have been very interested in finding out how they can expand their portfolios, having businesses move in or expand into their country from a Dubai headquarter. Saudi is putting massive amounts of investment into becoming a new hub or a key player within the Middle Eastern region, not only from the traditional perspective, but also from a technology and disruption perspective. So if you are not here, you definitely run a risk of being late to the table, whereas if you are based out of Dubai, it definitely puts you in a better situation where you understand the market dynamics not only of the UAE but of the region. It definitely helps. Also, it does help in a lot of cases where selling into or expanding into these regions is relatively easier from a compliance regulation perspective if you're already working in the GCC compared to if you were completely new and trying to establish into a different country. Just to reiterate, like I said, every country is working on their own pace.
Yeah.
But generally, the perception has been that everybody has seen, the amazing success that the UAE has had, and the amazing success that Dubai has had in terms of becoming a forefront player in this industry. That everybody's keen on accepting that successful route to how they want to expand.
I totally agree to you that every country is on the same pace, but this region is very tightly knitted with their cultural backgrounds. So what is your opinion and what are your reflections of someone who wants to do business here? What should be those cultural I would say key points or any specific detail you want to give to businesses, what they should keep in their mind when they are entering into this market and it is so culturally knitted? What could be the merit or what could be those key points they can keep in their mind while they are doing business here in this region?
So, first off, the thing that we have to do is we have to start looking at it from a very clean slate perspective. That, all the preconceived notions that you may have had about the Middle East in terms of they're a very traditional society, a very single cultural or a conservative society, that need to be put aside. I mean, Dubai has been an amazing melting pot of cultures. The way we in Dubai have been so successful is because so many different demographics, dynamics, and cultures come in and collectively work towards a single goal. So keeping that in mind, you also have to determine that it's still an evolving culture, whereas they're extremely accepting of all the different dynamics and the different demographics. They still have a little bit of traditional roots to themselves. That is in no way a hindrance to how business is done, but in fact, it could become a unique selling proposition for some industries or some companies that, if they know the market well, they may be able to succeed better than somebody who's not physically based out of Dubai. So while Dubai is very accepting of how international businesses or disruptors could come in and try to do business over here, having a local presence kind of puts you very close to the local market, very close to the local customer, and trying to understand what their requirements are, how do they feel more comfortable doing business. Just one thing that comes to mind in my 8 years of sales in the UAE is that we've noticed that a lot of times, and this has changed a little bit maybe post-COVID, but it still is a key determining factor in terms of how business is conducted, is people put a lot of value into face-to-face conversations. So rather than just having Zoom or Teams meetings with somebody and trying to sell complex solutions to them, or getting them to see eye to eye and to have to do business with you, it's a very important factor if you are able to sit across the table from them and have that conversation. Culturally, it helps you build a little bit of trust. That's how the people in the UAE are, and it's not only about the local population of the UAE that is traditionally that way. It is a lot of the demographics that are predominantly the UAE population believe in face-to-face conversations, helping believing in the power of a physical handshake. That comes into play. So just to reiterate my point, it becomes also more important for you to have a local presence over here to be in the region, to be able to succeed in this region. There are no discouraging factors. There are companies that do business sitting remotely, but if you are going up against companies that have a local presence over here, that it will definitely give them an edge being able to be physically present. So culture kind of plays into that, where it's not hindering you in any way, but it can be used to your advantage.
What I really look at when I see this region culturally, that there is so much of creativity and innovation as well, that prospers this concept of creativity innovation. What's your reflection on how the Dubai region has been aiding to creativity and innovation? What's your opinion on that?
So I think, it's such a remarkable place to be, and I don't just say this because I'm a resident over here, I've experienced it firsthand, is that it comes all the way from the top. I mean, the leadership in the UAE, the leadership in Dubai has been so promoting and so encouraging of creativity and innovation, launching local programs, launching support programs where businesses, individuals creatives can come in and be able to display their art form, be able to display their capabilities to a market that is so multicultural and accepting of all those unique, creative ideas, that it kind of basically becomes part of your DNA within Dubai, that the economy in itself, with a trickle-down effect from the top, builds up to be a creative and innovative society. So, for people or for companies that are innovative, for companies that are creative, or for individuals who are in that regard, within the same line, it's a remarkable place to be. I mean, the possibilities are endless, the support programs are there, the environment is supportive, and the multicultural aspect that Dubai brings to it just kind of gives you enormous amounts of potential and possibilities to be able to find the right demographic that your messaging, your creativity, your innovation can resonate with.
So, in your opinion, if you want to, let's say, take a stint in starting a business, in your opinion, what is going to grow in this region? If you want to give a suggestion out that this is what I believe that is going to grow in this region, what's your opinion on that?
Well, it's hard to say because my exposure has been primarily within the technology and financial technology space, and from that perspective, I can tell you that the market is very welcoming and very open to some disruptive technologies within the region. They've started adoption on the crypto space, they've started adoption on new technologies within the financial industry, and a lot of disruption is happening. So that's definitely an area that could have massive potential within the region. Obviously, as it becomes a more mature market, the barriers to entry grow a little bit, but right now is the right time. But apart from, even if you look at it from a broader perspective, not only from a technology or fintech perspective, the economy is on a growth trajectory, the population is on a growth trajectory, and the government is so supportive of businesses coming in and being able to set up over here, that if you find a gap or if you find a need that possibly has been a success factor in other markets but is an open area within the UAE, that is something that definitely could see adoption within the Middle East. So it could be retail disruption, it could be disruption within the finance industry, it could be disruption within the services industry, which Dubai has a big market for, and even international technologies that have not yet come into the Dubai markets could be something that they could be very welcoming of. I see gaps from a financial technology perspective that still exist, that people are working towards, businesses are coming in and trying to fulfill. Obviously, not everybody from a startup culture has great success, but the ones that know the market and have done their homework to identify what the gaps could be, what the opening in the market could be, they come in with the right messaging, the right resources, and the right product. That's something that could really succeed in the region.
One last question. Final advice for someone who want to come and do business in Dubai, or they want to come and work in Dubai. The final advice from your end.
So this is a question that's a little bit close to my heart. I mean, I've lived across the world. I moved to the United States when I was 16 years old. I spent about 10 years over there. Then I moved back to my home country of Pakistan. And then when I found the opportunity about 8 years ago to move to Dubai, I took that. And it has been a remarkable journey for me, not only from a professional perspective, but from a perspective of personal life as well. I mean, I met my wife over here, who is not from my home country.
Wow.
My first son was born 2 months ago. He was born
Congrats.
in the UAE, and so this basically kind of resonates as a home for me in that regard. So when I speak to somebody and I tell them that about if they are thinking about coming to do business in Dubai, or if they are coming to work in Dubai, don't only think of it as how it could be a launch pad to your professional life or for your business, but also the amazing amounts of opportunities and peace that this place can offer you on a personal level as well. It's an amazing place.
True.
It's multicultural, it's safe, it's accommodating, it's welcoming, and it is on the forefront of technology and forefront of innovation. So if you do decide that you want to come into the region to start up your business, or if you want to come into the region to work over here, if you have done your research, if you found where you want to be and where your passion is, this market and this environment is there to support you. I mean, the idea of success, or the ability to succeed in this market, is going to be remarkable. I mean, it promotes, it facilitates hard work, it promotes and facilitates innovation and creativity. So from a professional perspective, from a entrepreneurship perspective, this is a place that is really primed to help you grow and establish yourself. And at the same time, obviously, because there's only so many hours you are going to put into working every day. When you talk about living in Dubai from a personal perspective, you get to meet some great people here from different cultures. I've made some truly great friends over here. You know, I've started my family over here. Not saying that everybody's aspirations are to do this, but if that is the situation that you're looking at, you know, personal growth as well, this is a great place to be. I mean, from every aspect that you can think about.
Indeed. No, thank you so much. I mean, it was really interesting, Arsalan, and I believe it would go down really well to the viewers. Understanding the geographic region, especially what kind of opportunities are lying in this region, and your perspective towards the financial aspects of the industry, and then the fintech scene, the crypto scene, what is growing, what is going to come in the future, and probably the right time, when you can be the part of that table and see that how this entire region grows. So thank you so much for being the part of the interview.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hope we'll meet again.
Thank you so much.